What's up, y'all? It's Timmy with Full Send Alaskan Overland, and today we're going to be showing you guys these new Spyder headlights right here, which are a huge upgrade from the stock. They're pretty cheap, and I'll show you how to install them. So here we go. Welcome to Truck House Life, baby. These are Spyder crystal lenses with a black background. Got them for pretty cheap, $79, and they're way better than stock. I think they look pretty awesome. I chose to keep the stock halogen lights versus going LED or HID because honestly, you blind everybody if you put LED or HIDs on your headlights. No one likes that super bright blue light blinding them. And also you just have more problems, more electrical issues with the LED and especially HID lights. The new crystal lamp housing makes these headlights way brighter, so even though you're using a stock bulb, they're still way brighter than stock. I think it's a great upgrade, and yeah, I'd highly recommend them. Alright guys, for some reason my microphone stopped working in a little bit of this video towards the beginning, so just bear with me. I'll be doing a voiceover for a little bit and then my sound will pop back in. So I'm going to show you how to take those stock cloudy headlights that are outdated and install these new Spyder headlights here. Not too crazy to do, so here we go. So an aftermarket company called Spyder makes these headlights. These are the crystal version with the black background if you like them. You can find them on several different websites online, and they're pretty cheap. They're about 80 bucks for the set. So the first thing you want to do is get a Phillips head screwdriver and remove these two screws that are on top of your trim to remove the headlight. The next thing you do is remove the positive and negative terminals and then completely remove your truck battery on the passenger side. That way you can access the headlight assembly from inside the engine bay. Once you disconnect the battery terminals, go ahead and pull the truck battery completely out. This next step is a little bit tricky. You're going to need an 11mm deep well socket. You're going to find these two nuts that are basically at the base of your headlights. You need to remove those two nuts on each side of the headlight. That way you can slide the headlight assembly out. These two nuts are pretty tricky to get off, especially the one towards the passenger side outside fender. You can see where the wrench is right there. It's kind of in a weird spot, so just take your time, get it out. Once you get those two 11mm nuts removed, your headlight assembly will be loose, so you need to reach in from inside the engine bay and disconnect the light bulbs for the turn and parking signals and the headlamp bulb itself. In my case, I had an aftermarket bumper that was getting in the way of my headlight assembly sliding out, so I actually had to remove my bumper to slide the headlight assembly out. So hopefully you have a stock bumper and you won't deal with this issue. Once you get the headlight assembly removed, you can go ahead and swap out the stock backgrounds for the crystal backgrounds. To swap the actual lights backgrounds out, you just need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove two screws, and you're going to need a 10mm socket to remove the nut on the back. All right, then you're going to repeat the process for this side over here. All right, so we get the driver's side battery removed, so now we can access those two 11mm nuts on the back side of the headlight assembly. Take these two Phillips head screws off, and then this will slide off. So we got both the 11mm nuts off in the back. So now it's time to get these Phillips head screws out. And this assembly should slide off like so. You're going to reach back here and just half turn counterclockwise and pull out your turn signals and parking lights. And you can see how my bumper's in the way here, so I'm going to pull it off a little bit more, and then this whole headlight assembly should come right out. All right, and there you have it. Here's the assembly. So for the driver's side signal removal, same deal. You get 2 Phillips head screwdriver screws on top, and then one right there on the side, and undo these guys. Headlights, they are really tricky. So when you remove these headlights, this little plunger goes through these holes. There's 3 of them. So 1, 2, 3. These are the clips that are on the back side. These clips are crazy difficult to get off. So the headlight is held in place by these clips, which are accessed right here and right here and right through this top corner right there. And the only way you're gonna get these off is using this thing called a bent tip owl. So I've got 3 of them. And what you do is reach down and pull out these wings right here. You have to pull out really hard and bend it on one side, and come over here, bend it out on the other side. And then on the top, you hook your owl up under there, pull out away from the headlight and pull up, and it pops out. It's really difficult, but eventually you'll get them. There's 3 of them. And when you get those 3 little pins out, your headlight will just slide out like that. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and put the new crystal headlight in place and put these little clips back on. So here's the new Spyder crystal headlights with black background compared to the stock fogged out lenses. You can tell there's going to be a big difference in visibility, even though you still use the normal halogen bulb. All right, I'm going to try to film and do this at the same time. So trying to hold the headlight in place, but you can see this clip. You take that clip and you put it right there, press down, and once you press down hard enough, it'll lock into place and hold that nut. Before we continue any further, make absolutely sure to adjust your headlamp beam once you get all 3 of those clips back on before you put all the blinker and parking light assembly stuff on, because once you put all the parking lot and blinker assembly on, you can't adjust your headlight anymore. So not only do these little clips hold the headlight on to the truck, they also hold the nut in place back here. That way when you go to adjust your headlights up or down with a Phillips head screwdriver, your nut doesn't spin in the back, as you can see. So the first clip is on right there. The second clip is on right there. Went on a little bit easier because I didn't bend the clip bad when I took it off. Here's my third clip. The headlight's going through right there. So the third and lower clip is the trickiest one. It's right down in there. All right, y'all, same thing for the driver's side now. So just remove the light, had to take out the 2 clips on top, the 1 clip in that weird spot on the side. I worked the clip out with a pair of needle nose pliers and these 3 bent tip owls. Now we're gonna put the new light in. We're gonna put these 2 side marker bulbs into their sockets and then insert the frame into the grill here. And twist that light clockwise, and that should lock it into place. You can see here the bottom light's in place, top light's in place. To push this whole assembly into the grill, you can see that long bolt right there that has to go through that hole right back there. And your light should sit into place really nicely. Then on this side, you're going to have to get that nut back on that bolt that just went through, tighten it up, and that'll hold the headlight into place. Then put these 2 Phillips head screws back in the top, and that should lock your light in. Here comes the frustrating worst part. So you've got to get this little nut in to grab that bolt that holds your light on. There's 2 of them. There's one in that little pocket right there, and there's one in a little pocket right down there. All right, here's a little pro tip. So when you're trying to put that 10mm nut on the back of your headlight, you are not going to be able to get it if you're using your socket wrench. The key to it is to remove the deep well socket from the wrench, put the nut in this deep well socket, and reach back there with your hand and get it started that way and tighten it up. And tighten it like this at the end with the wrench. And I got it first try that time, so This headlight took me like 45 minutes until I did the hand thing, and then this one was instantly I got it. You can see it right down there too. See that 10mm socket? You just put it on that nut and screw it in that way. It's super tight in there. This is with the battery removed. It's still super tight. So this headlight's done. So same process on this side. Undo these 2 nuts off the back, set them aside. We're gonna push the light into place, put the bulbs in their sockets. The final step here is to put these 2 Phillips head screws in the top. Get the assembly in on both sides. Got all the bulbs in, so now it's time to put both the batteries back in place, hook everything up, and hopefully they fire up. And get these 2 batteries in. Pretty cold out too. It's I don't know, probably 20-ish or so. It was super cold last week, like below 0. And the truck hasn't been running for a while, so let's see how she fires up. Whew. She did it. She's cold. There you have it. So I'm going to adjust the headlights once it gets dark out, but other than that, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. I do try to do tech and how-to videos every now and then. That way you guys can figure out how to do it yourselves and save some time. So hope this helped you, and we'll see you on the road.